Namaste friends. Few hours to go for the release of the magnum opus Kantara chapter 1. It is a prequel of 2022 Kannada movie Kantara. So let's recap the story of Kantara before watching Kantara chapter 1. Written and directed by Rishabh Shetty, enacted by Rishabh Shetty as the main protagonist role Shiva, and produced by Hombale films. The movie Kantara was released in 2022 and it was a runaway blockbuster. The story of Kantara takes place in three timelines, friends. Timeline number 1, 1847. There was a king who had all riches, everything, a good wife, cute kids, a lot of wealth, lot of pleasure, everything. But he did not have peace of mind. He went into a jungle in search of peace of mind, ably guided by a priest in whom he believes. As he was traveling in the forest, he finds a divine stone which is occupied by the divine spirit of Lord Panjurli or Panjurli Daiva. Panjurli Daiva is the god who is worshipped and believed in the Tulunadu, friends. Panjurli Daiva is believed to be a protector who bestows lot of goodness. The king immediately finds his connection with Panjurli Daiva in that stone. He feels, yes, this is exactly what I wanted, to get back my peace of mind. He turns back and finds plenty of villagers standing at his back. He requests them, please give me your Panjurli Daiva. In exchange, I'll give you the big piece of the land of my empire to all of you. Panjurli Daiva speaks through the medium of one village person and says, you can take the Daiva with you, but if you or your successors try to claim back the land from the villagers, then the Guliga Daiva, who is a companion of Panjurli Daiva, who is a destroyer unlike Panjurli Daiva, is going to punish you. So friends, in Tulunadu, it is believed that Guliga Daiva is a companion of Panjurli Daiva. Initially rivals, but they cooperate together now. So people worship them together. While Panjurli Daiva is a protector, Guliga Daiva is a destroyer, is a punisher. He punishes those people who have offended or who have wronged. The king thanks the villagers and promises that he or his successors are not going to claim the land back from the villagers, and takes Panjurli Daiva with him to his kingdom, to his palace. From that particular point, it becomes a ritual that the procession of Panjurli Daiva starts from the king's palace. Timeline 1 closes there. Timeline 2, 1970. The story progresses a century beyond. In this timeline, we can see a Bhuta Kola performer. Friends, you need to know about Bhuta Kola as well, Panjurli Daiva as well, and Guliga Daiva as well. You need to Google a little bit about these Daivas and also about the Bhuta Kola rituals before watching the movie. So Bhuta Kola is a ritual wherein there is a divine dance by the Bhuta performer or the Bhuta Kola performer in whom Panjurli Daiva has been possessed. So that person becomes a medium through which Panjurli Daiva communicates with the people, listens to their problems and assures and blesses them with assurity and goodness. So coming back to the timeline, 1970, a Bhuta Kola performer is performing. Here we also have a descendant, a successor of the king from 1847 timeline. He approaches the Kola performer who has been possessed with Panjurli Daiva and requests him, please instruct the villagers to return back my land. That big piece of land which the king had gifted to the villagers long back in 1847. Panjurli Daiva denies that, no, this land belongs to the villagers. There is no way that they are going to give it back. Then the king's successor tells, I am going to take this to the court and I am going to win that case in the court. Then the Panjurli Daiva in that Bhuta Kola performer tells, you can go to the court, you can fight for this land, but you will come to know my decision on the steps of the court. Then the king's successor questions in a sarcastic way, is it the Panjurli Daiva speaking or the performer speaking? He doubts the reliability of Panjurli Daiva. And then the Bhuta Kola performer in whom Panjurli Daiva has been possessed tells, if you have this doubt, I'll run into the jungle. If I am possessed with Panjurli Daiva, you'll never find me. If I am not possessed, you will find me. Then the Bhuta Kola performer runs into the forest, runs into a particular circle in the forest, and at that particular point, he disappears. At the same time, the king's successor, who was claiming the land back from the villagers, faces an unnatural death on the steps of the court, as predicted by the Bhuta Kola performer. Close of second timeline. Timeline number 3, the story comes to 1990. In this particular timeline, friends, we have Shiva, the protagonist of the movie, and the successor, the son of the Bhuta Kola performer in the 1970 timeline. Shiva is a carefree person. He has his mother. After the disappearance of his father, he is supposed to perform in the Bhutakola just like his father. But being traumatized by the disappearance of his father, he never takes into performing in the Bhutakola. He refuses that. In his place, his cousin Guruva is performing in the Bhutakola as a Bhutakola performer. On the other hand, Shiva is a carefree person. He is participating in Kambala. He is a Kambala athlete. And here we can see Shiva winning the competition as always. He has a group of friends with whom he goes for hunting. He is interested in hunting the pigs. He always has a conflict with his mother. He is a mischievous young man. And now enters into his life Murali, a forest officer who has come to convert the land of the villagers into a reserve forest. Due to this reason, Shiva has a conflict with Murali, a fight with Murali. In fact, a serious fight with Murali. From there, the clash between Shiva and Murali starts, which keeps continuing in the movie until the climax comes. And there is yet another character in the movie, Devendra, who is the landlord, who is the successor of the king, the other generation of the king, the son of the same landlord who died on the steps of the court, trying to reclaim back the land from the villagers. Shiva has good relationships with Devendra. He in fact works for Devendra in some tasks. There is yet another character who comes into the movie, Leela, who is his childhood friend. Shiva falls in love with Leela. Shiva influences the landlord Devendra and gets Leela appointed as a forest guard. Now Leela needs to work under the command of Murali. Now Murali starts marking the fence around the village to convert it into a reserve forest. Now at this particular point, Shiva and Murali has a face-off yet again, a clash and a fight yet again. After this particular incident, Murali goes with his team to arrest Shiva and his friends. But while driving in the forest, a big tree falls on the jeep and Murali is seriously injured and hospitalized. That tree was unintentionally cut by Shiva. Now Murali thinks that it is a foul play and Shiva had sketched to kill him by cutting the tree and making the tree fall on his jeep. Murali luckily survives with the injuries. He is hospitalized. Shiva and his friends escape and go underground. Later, after a few days, Shiva and his friends are arrested by the police and forest guards. Devendra meets Guruva, Shiva's cousin, who is a Bhutakola performer now, and tries to bribe him. He tells, please impersonate being possessed by Panjurli Daiva in the next Bhutakola performance and pass the command to the villagers that they need to hand over the land to me. Believing that it is Panjurli Daiva speaking through you, the villagers will return the land back to me. Guruva refuses and Devendra stabs him. Guruva dies. At the same time, joining the dots and getting some clues, Murali figures out Devendra's cruel and heinous intentions. Devendra learns that Murali has figured out his wicked face. Then Devendra plans to set Shiva against Murali. Anyhow, Shiva and Murali had cold and hot wars. Devendra uses this for his advantage. Devendra tells Shiva that it is Murali who has killed his cousin Guruva. Shiva, out of rage, goes to kill Murali. On the way, Shiva meets his friend who is a blacksmith. And the blacksmith reveals that it is Devendra who has killed Guruva and not Murali. Shiva is attacked by Devendra's henchmen. Shiva wins that battle. He goes to Devendra's house and warns him. Shiva comes back to his village and reveals everything to the villagers. By that time, Murali had already come to the villagers and had revealed all the details. Shiva apologizes to Murali and they both join their hands. At the same time, Devendra comes with his big army of henchmen and declares an attack, a destructive attack on the villagers. This is an opportunity for him to destroy the entire village, to kill all the people and grab his land back. In this battle, Shiva fights like a hero, but he also suffers a brutal attack in which he is almost killed. When he falls, he hits his head against a stone, the divine stone of Panjurli Daiva. Panjurli Daiva comes and whispers something in his ears, and immediately Shiva becomes possessed with Guliga Daiva, the Punisher. Possessed by Guliga Daiva, Shiva kills Devendra and his henchmen and protects the village and the villagers. After a few days, Shiva performs the Bhutakola, which he was refusing to do. Now he has become a Bhutakola performer and he has invoked Panjurli Daiva inside him. He is possessed by Panjurli Daiva. While performing the divine Bhutakola dance, Shiva immensely thanks Murali. Shiva, Murali and the villagers all join hands. That's the gesture that we have won. That the right has won over the wrong. That they were able to protect the land of the villagers. That the justice has been served. That the balance between humans and the forest has been re-established. The Kantara, the mysterious forest, has been protected and secured. Man versus nature has become man and nature, hand in hand. A beautiful message. While performing the Bhutakola, Shiva is attracted by a sound from the jungle. Possessed by Panjurli Daiva, As a Bhutakola performer, Shiva runs into the jungle, just like his father had done. He goes to the same spot where his father had disappeared. He meets his father there, inside that circle, inside that mysterious circle, in the mysterious Kantara forest. And just like his father, he too disappears. In the mid-credits, we can see a little kid, son of Shiva and Leela, question yet another character in the movie, Sundara, about the disappearance of his father. The movie ends there. Kadubettu is the village in which the story of Kantara runs. Rishabh Shetty has played the character of Kadubettu Shiva or Shiva. Shiva's father, the Bhutakola performer in 1970 timeline, has also been enacted by Rishabh Shetty. Saptami Gowda plays the character of Leela, Shiva's love interest. Kishore has played the character of Murali. Achyut Kumar has played the role of the intimidating landlord Devendra. Swaraj Shetty as Guruva, Shiva's cousin. The direction of photography is by Arvind Kashyap. And brilliant music composition and the background score is by Ajanish Loknath. Now that you know the story of Kantara, I guess you are ready to watch Kantara Chapter 1. Happy time watching Kantara Chapter 1. If you are not watching Kantara, Kantara is available on Amazon Prime Video. Thanks for watching my video. If you liked my video, kindly like, share and subscribe to my channel. I'll catch up with you all in my next video with yet another movie review. Until then, do take care. Goodbye. Namaste.